Well, if you guys are just tuning in, I am building an audience, so bear with me. We have a lot to talk about today. And as you probably can tell by the selection of music, it is not going to be a good one. So here we go. We got some serious stuff to talk about today. I just can't even believe what has happened today. I can believe, but at some point, I am sick and tired of seeing the same old thing over and over and over again, and then we're just supposed to sit here and just chill on it and be like, you know what, that's our American justice system. Well, I'm just saying today that maybe we need to redo this justice system because the justice system is not working for everyone. So if you've just heard the news, or if you haven't heard the news, just go ahead and tune in. Like I said, I'm building an audience right now, so please bear with me. Yesterday we had a victory, or at least we thought we had a victory with Standing Rock, and I have to confirm this. And there's some rumors that are going around right now, and the rumors that are going around are that they are saying that the corporation doesn't really care, that they're going to drill anyway. I don't know how much of that is true, but the simple fact that they might even think that they can go against the Army Corps of Engineers. All right, let's try it. You can try it if you want to. And that fine better not be a bullshit fine either. You know what I'm saying? Where companies or corporations will do it anyway. So anyway, now that I have your attention, let's go into what we really need to be talking about today, which is the fact that we have another man that was murdered, another man that was lynched, and the simple fact that we have no justice. No justice whatsoever. Can you tell me why a jury decided today that Walter Scott, if you guys don't know who Walter Scott is, let me explain. Let me just give you a little rundown of the story about Walter Scott. Walter Scott was a man who was pulled over by the police. And what Walter Scott did was Walter Scott ran. You wonder why people run from the police? I'm sorry, I'm just really emotional about this. Walter Scott ran from the police. Walter Scott was running away from the police officer. Running away from a police officer. The police officer shot Walter Scott in the back. Shot him in the back. Radioed in and then lied and said that Walter Scott tried to grab his taser. What everybody didn't know, what the officer didn't know, was that there was somebody behind the fence that was recording him as he was murdering a man. Yep. No, this isn't just some, your word against mine. This is, we got this on tape. We had the murder of a man on tape by a police officer, and then the police officer calling in and lying about the simple fact that this man grabbed his taser when that didn't happen. It shows on the tape that a taser was planted. So can we guess what happened today? Can you all put on your thinking caps and tell me what happened today? What happened today is that jury came back as a hung jury. That jury decided that what they're going to do is they're not going to prosecute the police officer that killed someone. They're not going to do that. One hung juror said, you know what, after reviewing the tape, that he's not going to convince this person of murder. Let's just pause that for a second. I'm not going to convict somebody of murder when I see it on tape. On tape, not your word versus my word, not a little outline board with the little stencils and this person was standing here, not evidence by a medical examiner. We're talking about your eyes, my eyes, the tape, and they're not going to convict a man. You tell me, how are we supposed to remain peaceful? When I hear stuff like this, it's even hard for me, and I'm a very peaceful person. But time and time again, we got to see these lynching justice happen over and over and over again. So you tell me this doesn't make you mad. I want to know, is anybody okay with this? Does anybody believe in our justice system? How are we going to have faith in our justice system when they continuously, over and over and over again, the police get away with murder? Point blank. Murder. We have to strategize, and we really have to start hitting them hard. I want you guys to start following Sean King. Today was the kickoff of the boycott and justice, and what we're doing is we're just shutting shit down. You want to continuously go over and continuously say that, you know what, people's lives don't matter? You want to continuously kill kids in the streets?
I got something to say.
No. This is not your mother's movement. This is not your mother's movement. How does anybody else feel about that? You feel okay with the police officers killing people and then a justice system that doesn't convict? Anybody got something to say? How do we tell people not to run from the police when they're shot in the car by police officers? When they run away, they're shot by the police officers. They're framed by police officers. And then police officers don't have to have any sort of, they don't get in trouble for what they do. This is what we have to do to change this. We have to start organizing, and we have to start voting. If the sheriff in town does not comply with justice, then we need to vote him out. That's what we need to start doing. All this other, other stuff is not working. Because by the time we're marching, it's too late. We should be at the voting polls before we have to go to the marching. Before people are killed in the street, we need to be out there. This is injustice. This is injustice. I have been fighting injustice since I was a kid. Ever since Rodney King came out, I have been fighting injustice, fighting the police and watching them over and over kill people, punch people in the face, destroy families, plant evidence. And then on top of that, the DA and the medical examiners sitting in there and giving people the wrong evidence. This is happening over and over and over again. Nobody is safe. The people are not safe against the police. That's something sad to say, isn't it? So we have to take it over again. We have to take justice in our own hands. And the way that we do that back is that we decide who's going to be the sheriff. We can no longer sit by the sidelines and say voting doesn't matter. Hey Don, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Wayne, I see. Jessica, you're always here. Billy, what's up, y'all? I hope you guys are mad as I am, because I'm pretty pissed about this one. It's we coming to this point where we become numb to it. Oh, okay, well, another person didn't get convicted. A jury hung, whatever. But now, you know what? They're going to try this case again. And I promise you, there's no reason why. If you're watching this on camera, you're watching this officer kill somebody, you're watching him plant evidence, plant a taser, and then call it as a lie. How is my America not dying right now? And remember, you all voted, not saying you all, but people voted for Donald Trump. And who is he endorsed by? Donald Trump. Yes. Matt Duckworthy is mad is an understatement. Judith, no numbness, anger, pain, hurt from injustice. You doggone right. At the end of the day, you got to remember, I could be in that car. I could be Sandra Bland. I could be the one they pull over, shoot, and kill. And then there's no justice for me. It is what it is. Because all that police officer do has just wipe his gun off and say, you know what, fuck everybody else. This is how it really went down. At some point, we have to stop taking police for face value. You have to remember, those are just men and women behind that uniform. There's nothing special about them. It doesn't take... You think it takes something special to be a police officer? It takes less than 6 months of training, a GED, or a high school diploma. And you get a gun that can kill and a badge that represents absolute power. And then on top of that, you have no accountability. There's no system that's going to check and balance what you do. Hi, Billy. Billy says, I am at a loss. Sorry isn't enough. Terrified with this zero resource. Absolutely. I'm terrified. I'm sick of it. I've had enough of it up to here. It gets to the point of, what are we supposed to do next? What are we supposed to do? And you know what makes me even more mad? All those police officers that talk all that smack about, oh, it's not the police and we're good police. Where are you at now, police officers? Where's your outcry? Cry it down. Why aren't you out there talking about, you know what, this is some BS and this is not what we stand for? That this other officer that killed and lied about it should be facing charges. That's your peers. The police are not out there in the streets saying that this is wrong. I hear absolute silence for this. That's what makes it so mad. So you talk about, oh yeah, there's good police officers, and that there are. But how many tapes do we have to see of police officers doing something wrong, and then there's another 5 or 6 cops behind that one police officer just standing there looking stupid, letting them do it over and over and over again. Over and over again. And we're just supposed to say, you know what, it is what it is. At some point, people are going to have to just say, you know what, we're going to have to scrap this whole system, because if the system doesn't work for everybody, the system should work for nobody. This is shameful. This is a downright, you know what, we got in office. We got police that are not convicted. This is just happening over and over again. At some point, what are we going to do? So when you got people that act crazy and act a fool, they have had enough. But now is the time I challenge all of you police officers that are talking all that mad stuff about how all police officers don't like this. I want you guys to get out there and I want you to condemn all of your other brothers and sisters in blue. The ones that were supposed to be doing all this stuff, the ones that were talking all that stuff about you're just the best police officers ever. Get out there and condemn this one for bringing shame to the uniform. Tell him that you can't go out there and just kill civilians. I want police officers out there doing that. I challenge you. You're so good. You're so bad. Get out there in the streets and do it. Oh, what? You scared, police officers? You're scared about what your fellow officers are going to say? No guts, no glory, no nothing. I stand up for what I believe is right, even when nobody else stands with me. And you have a gun and a badge, and a paycheck, and a pension on top of that, and you still can't stand up and do the right thing? All right. It is time for the people to take the power back. Because as we know, more than anything, ain't no power like the power of the people. And the power of the people don't stop. But I swear, in 2016, I am sick and tired of people being lynched by police. I am sick and tired of this injustice happening over and over again, and the news and the things pass it by. If you've had enough and you want to say whatever, then it's time to stand up. It's time to organize. We need to figure out who are the sheriffs in this town. Who are the ones that are sitting up here saying that we can do, that they can just go ahead and do all this stuff? Because it stops right up top. We have to start demanding that we have an independent agency that looks at police conduct, and it's the ones that do it with conviction, and they just get these guys. Out of 1,500 people that were killed by the police last year, let me give you that number again. 1,500 people that were killed by the police last year. About 15 of those people were convicted. 15. On average, before years, it's been an average of 10. The only reason it was 5 more is because of the video camera and the phone. So you tell me why Walter Scott can't get justice. You explain to me why I spend my own money to go to places like Baltimore when Freddie Gray doesn't get justice, to be a peacekeeper in the street to tell those teenagers not to throw that brick. How can I look them in the face and I and say I believe in the justice system when I'm starting to not even believe it in myself? You tell me. So, what's up, Ann? Showing my 11-year-old Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing for the first time last weekend. She got the message entirely. Educate your children, your neighborhood, your family, and your friends. You're absolutely right, because if we're going to get this, we got to get it as a group. Hey, Brian. Brian says we must clean house from one end of the system to the other. You are absolutely right. And the good thing about this election, if the only good thing is that it showed us, keep our eyes on it, that our votes matter, and that we have to start taking back the local and the state levels. That's what we have to do. Hey, Judith, what's up, girl? Judith's like, amen, power to the people. With Trump in power, the Republicans running the House and the DAPL's BS. Absolutely. Never before have the people's eyes been so open. I believe we will see the uprising more and more. You are absolutely right. We'll be uprising more and more. Ellen Hartz. SC is such a terrible place these days. South Carolina, I'm sorry to hear that, my dear. The people of South Carolina all take to the streets. You got that right. But we are taking not only to the streets, I'm telling you, we got to take to the voting booths as well. Take to the voting booths as well. We underestimate the power of our vote. We do. The Republicans are good. You know why Republicans win? Because the Republicans understand that their people follow through and vote. Democrats, what we do is we do two things. We don't vote, and I'm just saying Democrat, okay? Some of you are for it or for against it. But the other side, let's say, what they don't do is they don't vote, and they take to the streets down by the time it's over. Well, the vote's already cast. People aren't in power. Snyder's already poisoned the water in Flint. It's already too late. We have to be ahead of the game. That's what we have to do. Be ahead of the game. We have work to do, people. 2017 and beyond is going to be some hard work. But I want you guys to do me a favor tonight. I always like to end it like this. I need you guys to get with your families. I need you guys to hug your loved ones and tell them that no matter what, I love you. In this day and age where you never thought that you could be going outside and be shot by the police. Shot by the ones that are supposed to protect and to serve. We got to get them off the simple fact that they should not just be protecting, they should be protecting and serving, not debt collectors and law enforcers for the city. Law enforcers, as we saw in North Dakota. What were they doing there? Law enforcement. For what? To protect an oil company? Ellenhart, says, what's next? Tree hanging, the KKK march in my state this weekend. Terrible. It's absolutely terrible that they march in the streets. I believe that. But you know what? I have a whole other thing about those guys. What happened with Trump is we gave Trump too much free publicity. We really did. We really did. We got to start taking that free publicity to another place. What I mean by that is when they have their rallies, we need to start saying, okay, this is who we are going to put into office over the sheriff department. So take their thunder and use it to our advantage. Life is like a chessboard, and we play it out. Anna says it's terrible such an organization still exists today. Absolutely. Until the end of time, we will always have organizations that hate one another. We'll always have people that hate one another. And it is just what it is. But at the end of the day, we have to show the world that there are more good people than there ever will be bad people. There are more good police officers than ever will be bad, but I need those good police officers in the street right now talking about that Walter Scott deserves justice. That's where I need those good police officers to be. Judith says, the water is still poison in Flint. Police are still killing our families. They're not stopping the pipeline. We cannot stop. We cannot become numb because this is every day. We must stay strong. Judith, you're absolutely right. We have to stay strong and we have to keep on. Kevin, amen, much love. Thank you very much. Love to you too. So as I say, that we have a lot of work to do. But this rage that I have right here for this injustice that I have continuously marched off against, I cannot do this by myself, because if we come together and we start to vote, I'm telling you we can make a change. I am telling you that we can just start right there. Vote. I was told to vote. I told people to vote. People thought I was crazy. They thought, you know what? And that's one of the wrong reasons. I'm about to get on it right now. I'm about to make some enemies about what I'm going to say. I wrote a blog post about who needs a Klan when you got Kanye West. Who needs a Klan when you got this celebrity going out there to this community telling people, young group of people, you know what? I would have cast a ballot for Donald Trump if I would have voted. Now, of course, I don't agree with him voting for Donald Trump. But what made me more mad was the simple fact, you talk all this shit about black problems, but you don't stop your rich ass and go vote, bitch? Fuck Kanye West. For real. Like, that's all I have to say about it. All he does is he's a money whore for bullshit. All those people that talk all that stuff, do you know what it's like to go down there and protest and fight and try to get your community? And then he's got this huge ass platform, and all he has to do is run a campaign and say, you know, we're going to do this vote. But he says, oh, I'm too busy. And then Lil Wayne is too busy with his bitches. You take your bitches, go fuck yourself, while me and my people are sitting here in the streets every day dealing with this. That's the way I feel. And that's a hard way to feel about it. But you know what? I don't care, because I didn't get here being popular. I did not become Keshia Thomas by being popular. You think I care about what people say about me? Please, I have death threats every day. Get in line. Get in line. But every time I see an injustice, I got to speak on it. Because Kanye West and Lil Wayne do more damage to the movement than any Klan could ever do. Besides kill someone. I'm going to tell you why. Because Kanye West messages reaches people. Lil Wayne reaches people more than the Klan do. The Klan march up and down in South Carolina. Yeah, we know they're there. But Kanye West made fucking fools famous. And it made being a fool something sexy. So you know what? He can sit on it and spin on it. That's the way I feel about it. I don't give a shit. We got some bad rappers back. We got J. Cole back. We got Lil Mine. So you know what? Kanye and whatever his name is can go and get out the fucking door. If anything, I'll drop an album. That's the way I feel. I got to get out of here because I'm hot under the collar. So if we remember anything, Kanye needs to take, okay, so Ellen Hart says Kanye is mentally ill. He needs to take his pills religiously. But let me tell you something. There's this whole cult of Kanye. A whole cult of people that follow Kanye West. And that's the crazy thing about it. You got to understand, entertainers are there to entertain. They're there as the jokers to make you laugh, to make you forget, to make you whatever. They're not there to inspire you, but so many of us have put them on a pedestal as to be the end all and be all, the ones to try to be. Instead of figuring that shit out for yourself. Remember, everybody's there to sell you something. I did this whole thing the other day, and I know I'm talking a little bit too long, but I'm going to talk it. Yeah, bipolar is what it is, but if you know that he's bipolar, why are you going to follow somebody that's bipolar? What, you're supposed to look at somebody that's bipolar and say, okay, you need medication. Not that you are my end-all, be-all hero, and I want to be like you. Yeah, your music or whatever, but that's not something to idolize. The other thing, and I know I'm going to get myself in whatever trouble, but I don't really care. I did this whole thing the other day. I wrote this blog or this write-up about slut-shaming. First of all, let me tell you what slut-shaming is and what it isn't. Slut-shaming is not cool when you talk about a woman getting an abortion, when you talk about a woman trying to get birth control, when you talk about a woman and what she's wearing. But if I'm sitting up there and I'm looking at somebody that's got 6 or 8 kids by 8 different men, that sits there and sucks 12 different dicks, I'm going to tell my nieces and nephews, hey, I don't want you guys to be like that. And if that's slut-shaming, then so be it. But you got to understand and dissect. What do I always say? Follow the money. So when the slut-shaming happened, when it started to get popular, who was behind it? Who was behind it? One of Kanye's girls, Amber Rose. What is she trying to do? She's trying to sell you something. She is trying to sell you slut walk, eyeliner, mascara, makeup. She's not trying to raise kids out here. So remember that every time you hear somebody say, oh my God, I don't want to slut shame. No, listen, I'm going to tell you if that outfit is appropriate or not. You're not coming to my family's wearing it. That's not slut shaming you. If you want to have sex with all these different guys, that's on you and that's your business. But I'm going to tell first of all, if you're having sex with 100 different people, I'm going to say, what's wrong with you? You need to talk? And then on top of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit there and say to my little cousins and nieces and nephews, you don't want to do this. You don't want to live that lifestyle because you don't want to get an STD. You don't want to have a bunch of babies. And you don't want to get HIV. But somehow, because somebody wants to market to you, they want to make it cool. But fuck that, make it right. So recap, keep an eye on North Dakota pipeline. We don't know what's going on. They say that they might keep drilling anyway. I don't know if that's true or not. Number 2, a man was murdered by the police and there was no justice. So you explain to me how we continuously have peace with no justice after Walter Scott. Number 3, common sense. Common sense. I don't like to be called a bitch. I don't like to be called a nigga, and I don't like to be called a slut. Remember, if somebody's trying to sell you something, they're going to make anything look good. We got a lot of work to do. Get in there and make sure you're ready to vote. Forward together, not one step back.